Hey everyone, it's Daniel Brother Brett Barris. This is going to be a Microsoft Deployment Kit or MDT lab setup series of videos. In the description text of this video, you'll find a download link for the prerequisites file. Go ahead and click that now, and this should come up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to download 7-zip and Notepad++. So first we're going to open up a new browser window, type 7-zip.org, download, save as, and we'll save that on our desktop. The next one we're going to get is Notepad++. So let's go to notepad-plus-plus.org, click there, click on the download, the newest one here. You'll see the x64 installer, click on that, and save that also to our desktop. I'm going to close this window and minimize. So just double click on 7-zip, click install, close, and then we'll open up Notepad++. OK, next, I agree, next, next, install, then finish. This should come up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on Settings, Preferences. We're going to go to Backup. I'm going to uncheck these two boxes. And I like to use dark mode, so I'm going to click on dark mode and click the center button here. Click close and close here. Now one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on start and type Notepad. You'll see Notepad++. Click on that. Then do that one more time, but shift right click and click Run as Administrator. We're going to click on Settings, Preferences, and we're going to go to our file association. Click on Notepad, and I'm going to move the text over to here so that all of our text files open up in Notepad++. We can now close that. Okay, and now that we've got that going, we're going to create a notes folder on our desktop. Okay, we'll reopen this, and I'm going to click download, and I'm going to save that file into our notes folder. There we go. Now we can close. And once we get here, let's open that. We'll move it over here. And we've got our notes open. Okay. So for this video series, I'm going to be using VMware Workstation, but you can use any hypervisor you'd like. You can use VirtualBox, Hyper-V, Q, EMU. And now that we've got our 7-zip and our notepad, we're good to go. Now, if you are using VMware Workstation, there is a known issue with NVIDIA. So what you can do is you can shift right click on your desktop if you're using Windows 11, or just right click your desktop if you're using Windows 10. And what we're going to do is we're going to be opening up our NVIDIA control panel. Okay, so there we go. And once you're in NVIDIA control panel, click on Manage 3D Settings, and you'll see this background application max frame rate. We want to make sure we turn that off. And then there'll be an Apply button down here. Click Apply, and you can close that. Now in our browser, whether you're using Chrome, Edge, Firefox, whichever, I like to go into the settings, and in downloads, I like to make sure that I can download the files to wherever I want to. So you'll see, ask me what to do with each download. I'm going to turn that on, and then I'll close this. Now the minimum you want for this lab series is a 1 terabyte NVMe or SSD drive. No spindle drives, that'll be way too slow for this. And at least 16 gigs of RAM. We're going to be thin provisioning around 1108 gigs and 22 gigs of RAM, so make sure you have enough. All right. Recommended, I'd say a 2 terabyte NVMe and 24 gigs of RAM. If you have less than that, that's fine. Just know that you'll have some performance hits, and with a faster machine, of course, you're going to see better performance. We're going to be deploying a domain controller. a network gateway, our MDT server, and then once we have those up and running, let me put this 101 here, we're going to be deploying a Windows Server 2022 machine, a Windows 10, and then a Windows 11 client. Now, the newest versions of these as of this video is Windows Server 2022 21H2, Windows 10 22H2, and Windows 11 23H2. We will be using the Windows 11 22H2 ADK and WinPE add-on and version 8456 of MDT. All right. Now, I have the lab setup. Since you've got Notepad++ now up and running, you'll see this link here. We're going to double click on that. This will be our lab setup. So click on download, save as. We're going to save that to our desktop. Shouldn't take too long. That's only a 1 megabyte file. You can move this down here. And then what we'll do is we'll shift right click on that and we'll click extract files. That'll be to the desktop, and we'll move this down here and we can shift right click on the MDT_lab, hold down shift and click delete. That way it doesn't go to the recycle bin. And then we can open up this folder. Okay. Since if you don't want a nested folder like that, you can just cut this, paste. I should have right clicked and clicked extract here, and that's okay. There we go. There's our folders. So since we already have these two downloaded, I'm going to cut 7-zip. I'll paste it into its folder. And I'll do the same with Notepad++ and paste it there. There we go. Okay, you're good to go on 7-zip. Now the next thing we're going to grab is BG Info. Now BG Info does come with MDT, but the version is outdated, so we're going to get the newest version, which is 4.32. Okay, it's part of the sysinternal suite, so I'm going to double click on this, and you'll see download BG Info. September 29th, 2022 is the newest version, 4.32. Just click here. Save. We're going to go to MDT Lab, BG Info, and save. Okay. We'll go here to BG Info. You'll right click on this, open archive. You'll see two files here. I'm just going to extract these. I'm not worried about the EULA right now. And I'll extract those to our folder. And there we go. We can shift and delete that folder or that file, and we only have these two. Those are what we'll need. Okay. Now the UAP are user account pictures. Okay, I've given you the resolutions for those. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to create your own for your machines. Okay, these will be user account pictures, and so you'll see the resolution and the file names to make for those. This is just for my lab setup, but you can make your own. Okay, and also I have some wallpapers, so I'm going to grab these. I uploaded them to Imager. I'm going to save image as, and I'm going to call this image200.jpg for that one. And then for our workstations, it's image201.jpg. Okay, so I've got those two all downloaded now. Now I'm using HP machines. Some people like to use Dell. And so what we're going to do is we're going to download the WinPE drivers for both Dell and HP, just so you know how to use them. Okay, so here's the Windows 10 driver pack for Dell, and you'll see it's version A33, and it's 134 megabytes. You click download now. The cool part about Dell's driver packs is that they come in a cab file that you can just point MDT to. With the HP ones, you have to extract and then point. So we're going to go to drivers, Dell, and I'll just click save. There's that one. Here's our Windows 11, and you'll see that's version A02, 26 megs. Click download now, save as. We'll save that in that same Dell folder. We'll go to HP's client Windows PE drivers. You can see they put their Windows 10 and Windows 11 in one. This newest version was just released last month. So we're going to click on that, click Save As, go here to Drivers, HP, Save. I'm going to minimize this. Let's go to MDT Lab, Drivers, HP. I'm going to Shift right click that, 7-zip extract files, and there we go. I'm going to Shift delete this file, and you'll see that HP put all of their drivers in here. So you just point to the folder. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to get Edge for Business to update Edge in our servers and workstations. And you'll see the newest version 124.0.2478.51 here. Click Download, Accept and Download, Save As, go to MDT Lab, Edge for Business, and just save that MSI there. Okay. I'm going to close some of these just so that we don't get carried away with how many. Now if you're using STIGs in your environment for security, we're going to get the public cyber.mil STIG GPOs. So double click here, give that a moment. Okay, you'll see you might see a DoD page here that comes up, and just click OK. And you'll see down here group policy objects. These were released in April. So you can see I've got an older version here. So that's great. These were released today. So that's awesome. Newest version. Okay, that's 6.87 megabytes, it says. Good. And we'll see what the name of that file is. Save as. We're going to MDT Lab, group policy. Save that. Give that a moment. I'm going to go here to group policy, right click, rename. I'm going to copy the name so that our file's up to date. That way you can keep these files and keep them up to date and you'll be good to go. Okay, so we'll shift right click on this, click 7-zip, open archive, and we only need this ADMX templates folder. So we're going to click extract, okay, and we can delete that. Okay, so when you look in there, you have all of these all ready to go, your ADMX and ADML files. And I've created a little script that will put them in the right place for you. Okay, good to go. All right, now we want to get CM Trace, and CM Trace comes with Microsoft Configuration Manager. Now, of course, this is a very large file, but we're only going to get one file out of here. So we're not really worried about the whole thing, but we have to download it. So double click on here. We're going to click on version 2303, click Save As, go here to MDT Lab, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and save. Okay, now that might take a while to download depending on your internet speed. It's pretty quick for me just because we've got fiber to the home, but so you click on Microsoft Configuration Manager and you'll see the file there. I'm going to shift right click on this. Okay, I'm going to go to 7-zip, open archive. I'm going to go in here, SMS setup, tools, CM trace. I'm just going to extract that to the folder. Okay, and I only need that one file. So I'm going to shift, right click, and delete. So that'll save us a lot of space, so we don't have to worry about that. All right. Here's our Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. We'll double click on there. We can close these. You'll see it's 8456. We're going to use the x64 version. Click Download, Save As, MDT Lab, Deployment, and there we go. Now, I've created also a custom background image for our deployment. We're going to save this in the same folder, but I'm going to rename it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. We're going to shift right click on this. We're going to go down here to open with Paint because we're going to save this as a bitmap. We're going to call this background.bitmap. Make sure it says 24-bit bitmap. You can save it in our Microsoft Deployment Toolkit folder, save, close, and we can delete the ping file. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to be replacing the one that comes with MDT. Okay. Now there is a update for MDT that Windows 10 deployments fail with Microsoft Deployment Toolkit on computers with BIOS type firmware. So we're going to go here and we're going to find out all about that here, and you can download this update now. Click Save As. Save it in the same folder, Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. There we go. Okay, and you can see that here. I'm going to shift right click and I'm going to click Extract Files. You'll see a little warning, but don't worry about that. We're only worried about a couple files that are in there. I'm going to shift and delete the executable, and inside here you'll see the fix is just 2 DLLs. Now, funnily enough, BG info goes in the same folder that these go to in MDT. So we're going to go to our BG info folder. We're going to copy these two files. Okay? Because what we'll do is we'll replace those with the newest ones in MDT. So go to Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, go back into that file folder, paste, and we're going to take the 32-bit one and put it in the x86, paste, and the 64-bit one right there in x64, paste. There we go. Okay. Now, I have rules per task sequence that we're going to be implementing. I have a BitLocker fix for Server 2022 once we get everything installed, and also an HTML fix. And this one here is from Johan, and it's just to make things look a little bit prettier. You'll see that most of the times when you do an operating system deployment, you'll see these two unable to create web service class, and he gave us a little hint on how to make sure we can remove that so that it just looks cleaner and it doesn't give us those warnings. All right, we've already downloaded Notepad++, so now we're going to get our operating systems. First one we're going to get is Windows Server 2022. So click on that. We're going to get our ISO download 64-bit edition. Go ahead and choose your language. I'm using English, so I'll click on that. Save as. MDT Lab. We're going to go to Operating Systems, Windows Server 2022, and save. Okay. Now Windows 11. We're going to double click on that one. You'll see down here they have a download a disk image ISO. Click on that. Click Download Now. We're going to choose your language. I'm going to do English United States. Click Confirm. And 64-bit download. Save as. Operating Systems, Windows 11, and save. And I've saved Windows 10 for last, and I'll show you why. If you followed along with my previous videos, you'll notice that they don't have the ISO here for Windows. But what you can do is you can go here to your settings, go to More Tools. Okay, you can go down to Developer Tools. And what we're going to do is we're going to emulate that we're on a different kind of device, like a tablet. Okay, so you see that's the file. I'm going to right click here and click Refresh. And now it thinks it's on a tablet. And it's actually going to give us the ability to download the ISO. So you're going to see multi-edition ISO, confirm, choose our language, confirm, and our 64-bit download. Save as, operating systems, Windows 10, and save. Okay, and those will be downloading in the background. Now we're going to get the newest version of PowerShell. Okay, so we'll go here to their GitHub, and down here at the bottom, you can see there's supported platforms, we're going to use the 64-bit stable version, and the MSI is here. We're going to click on that. We're going to click Save As, go to MDT Lab, PowerShell 7, and you can see our newest version is 7.4.2, which we're going to save here, and we're good to go. Now, instead of using the built-in Windows database, the WID, we're going to be using SQL Server Express for our WSES, which will keep our images up to date as they go out. Okay, that's Windows Server Update Services. So we'll double click here, and you'll see we have TriSQL, and you can see there's different versions, Developer, Express. We're going to click on the Express and click Download Now, Save As, MDT Lab, SQL Server Express, and save. Okay, we're going to minimize this now. We're going to go to our SQL Server Express folder where we downloaded that folder or that file. We're going to double click on that file, and then we're going to click Download Media. I'm going to use the Express Advanced right here. I'm going to click here and copy the folder we're in. I'm going to put that here and then click Download. Okay, and give that a few moments. It's going to download the executable. Once that's done, download successful, click Close. Yes, I'm going to Shift and delete that file. Then I'm going to double click on this. It's going to ask me to extract the file, so I'm going to click OK. Okay, and then I'm just going to close this, and then I'll Shift delete this file as well. And now I have what I need, which is just the installation media. Okay, and that'll be in our SQL Express folder. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get the latest SQL cumulative update. Okay, and if you go down here, you'll notice the newest version is CU12, cumulative update 12. So we're going to double click on that. We're going to go down here at the bottom. It's going to say how to obtain or download this or the latest cumulative update, and it says recommended here. So we're going to click that. Here it is. The newest one is KB5033663. Let's make sure we have that. That's what I have here. It's 410 megabytes, and I'm going to click download, save as, MDT Lab, SQL Express CU, and save that. Then we're going to get SQL Management Studio, and we'll see that the newest version is 20.1. You can click here or click here. So I'm going to click here, click Save As, MDT Lab, SQL Server Management Studio, and save. Okay. Now we're going to get the SQL Report Viewer. We're going to click here. You'll see the Report Viewer runtime right there. Click Download, Save As, MDT Lab, Report Viewer, Save. Now down here, if you look, there's additional information, right? And related resources. Here's our related resources. It's the SQL CLR types, which I've listed here. We're going to rename each one to x86, x64 because they're actually named the exact same thing. So I'll click here. It's going to, give us a little thing. Just click keep anyway, click save as, and then at the end of types, we're going to type x86, just like that. And then I'll click the other one, same thing, keep anyway, save as, and this will be our x64 MSI. Click save, and we're good to go. Now we're going to get our SQL Server reporting services, and you'll see down here, download SQL Server 2022 reporting services. Click that. You can see the newest version, 0.61. There we go. Click download, save as, and reporting services. Click save. Now we're going to get our newest Visual C++ runtimes or redistributables. Double click here. You'll see the newest version, the latest version, 14.38.33135.0, which I've listed here. So we're going to grab just the x86 and x64 versions, save as, MDT lab, go down here to Visual C++ redistributable, and 64 as well. Save it in the same folder, and we're good to go. Now, if you haven't installed VMware Workstation, we're going to double click here, and you can see download now. Click here, save as, MDT lab, and VMware Workstation 17 Pro. Save, and you can install that if you'd like, or use whatever hypervisor you'd like. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click here on the supported versions. Now, if you've watched my configuration management server videos, you'll notice that the newest version is actually not supported yet, 10.1.2539.8.1. Okay, the newest version that's supported is the 22H2, so we're actually going to use that one. So we'll get here down here, and then we'll scroll a little bit down on the page, and you'll see here they are, the version 22H2. So the first one we're going to get is this ADK, save as, MDT lab, Windows ADK. I'm going to save that ADK setup here, and I'm also going to save the WinPE add-on there. Okay, now that we've got those downloaded, let's go to Windows ADK. Okay, I'm going to shift right click and click copy as path for this ADK. Okay, then I'm going to double click here on ADK setup. I'm going to click download the Windows Assessment and Deployment Toolkit for installation on a separate computer. I'm going to I'm going to Control V to copy that. It doesn't like the quotes, so just get rid of those. Click next, click no, next, accept, and it's going to be downloading the ADK to this folder here, and I'll come back when that's done. Okay, that download's complete. And click close, shift delete the ADK setup exe because we've got this one all set up. Same thing with Windows PE. We're going to shift right click, click copy as path, double click on the ADK WinPE setup, click download here, paste that, remove the quotes, next, no, next, and accept. Let that download and I'll be right back. Okay, and that's good to go. Click close, shift delete. And now what we're going to do is we're going to download the newest cumulative update for our ADK. Okay, so that'll be as of this month, so 2024-04, cumulative update for Windows 11 version 22H2 for x64 based systems. So if I double click on that, you'll notice that's here. You can actually change this if you're downloading this in the future to whatever month or year you're using, and you should be good to go. You'll notice that the newest version that we're looking at, so it shows you here, update preview, we don't want that one. We want this one here. So we're going to click download, give that a moment, save as, CU for cumulative update, and we're good to go. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to usually use previews. This one was released today, but I'd rather just use the version that's stable. Okay. I'm going to close these. All right. Now we're going to get the Windows SDK. And the only reason I'm downloading this, just like with the Microsoft Configuration Manager, is for literally one installation. And this is for Orca. And Orca shows you a lot of information inside MSI files. When you load up an MSI, it'll show you what properties you can use in the silent installer, which is great for us when we're deploying applications in MDT or in OSD under Microsoft Configuration Manager. So let's double click that. It should auto start downloading. So we'll go to SDK here and save that. And the only required files we're going to be using are these ones and the actual Orca installer. But I'm going to keep the SDK around, okay? Now we want to put Windows Terminal on our servers, and you can do that. It's nice to have. So what I'll do is I'm going to download the C++ runtime framework for Desktop Bridge, and the one we're going to download here is the x64. Okay, so we're going to be looking for Microsoft VC Libs x64 desktop, which is this one here. So click on that, click Save As, MDT Lab, and Windows Terminal, save. Then we're going to grab the UI XAML, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab the x64 version of that, save as, under the Windows Terminal, save. And now we're going to get the MSI bundle. Okay, we don't want the preview. We're going to go down to the latest version here, and we'll look below, and you'll see the MSI X bundle here. Click on that one, click Save As, and Windows Terminal. We can close our browser now, okay? And we should be good to go with our prerequisites. So I'll see you in the next video.